Hello, my darling. I am just getting my wits about me. I think I'm going to share my video. Share my video. If it ever loads. I'm getting my shit together, I swear. I was tapestry shopping when I replaced the curtains I have up now. That's awesome. It's only an hour anyway. Okay. Joyous time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg. And today we are talking about emotional engineering in Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine. And I want to run you guys through a meditation this morning where we will take care of our heart. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do you have toxic relationships, or you even push people away from you? Your heart chakra could be blocked. Let's remedy that. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. And as you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. And as you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light. Imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and spreads down over your face, neck, and shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy, entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You can now manipulate that light into energy. You see that at the very base of your spine, there is a ball of energy glowing in emerald green. Resting on your tailbone is an emerald gem. Reach down and pick it up. Be gentle with it. This jewel doesn't belong here. It belongs in your heart. With all the strength you can muster, slowly pull this heavy jewel up along your spine and toward your heart where it belongs. When the jewel has reached its destination, bring your focus back to the present, back to your breath. Breathe in a normal breath through your nose, and as you breathe out through your mouth, watch as the jewel grows a little bigger. With each exhale, watch it become a little brighter. You are growing this jewel so that everyone in your life can have a little. Your friends, your family, everyone. Take as long as you need to fill your rib cage. How many spoons can it make? Can you gift these spoons to your loved ones? Bask in its glow. Enjoy the hard work you put into this jewel. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Once you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did a chakra cleansing meditation, which I have a different meditation for each day of the week. And there is a way. I offer spoons to my friends. So if you have all the spoons and they are at a deficit, you should be able to give them energy just by being chill and being around them. Hi, Allie. Hi, Jace. Let's look at today's card. Yesterday was a doozy. going to cut this one more time and the Wand of Aces. Ace of Wands. Excuse me, I read it backwards. Ace of Wands, Cups, Pentacles, Swords, Wands. Go for it. Awaken your unlimited potential and step into your personal power. All signs are clear, and the Ace of Wands encourages you to unapologetically chase your dreams. Take up as much space as you need and allow yourself to expand. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and there is nothing holding you back. Instincts over intellect. Follow your gut. Following your gut will serve you the best at this time in your life. Illumination and inspiration surround you, supporting you in this breakthrough moment of personal discovery. Listen to your intuition and what it has to say. Go all in on manifesting your desires so that you can watch it flourish over time. Take it to the next level with your fiery ambition and let it burn. The possibilities are endless and the opportunities bountiful. Cool. That's a power card. I don't know why it did that, but okay. Yes, power card today for Sako stream. Like, woo. Ace of Wands. All the new potential. All the new potential. Okay, emotional engineering. Visualize yourself in a situation where one of your personal demons is evoked. Make it as much a worst-case scenario as possible while remaining aware of how your body feels as memories, fantasies, what-ifs, and what happens when's whirl into your physiological arousal. You interpret that arousal as something. Anger, anxiety, depression, jealousy, possessiveness, which jealousy and possessiveness are often the same thing, are they not? Which become the basis of your awareness and perception. To begin emotional engineering, don't identify the physiological feelings as one thing or another. Just experience them as an odd sensation which you cannot define. For example, that nagging sensation which you have come to identify with the desire to smoke a cigarette is merely an odd sensation, the source of which you are not sure of. The process is simple. When you find yourself gripped by a powerful emotion, do not attempt to suppress it, but allow yourself to fully experience it. Be aware of physical sensations as the emotion intensifies. Still your inner dialogue's generation of fantasies or a tendency to drag memories out of the past, which serve to perpetuate and intensify the state. Be aware of bodily sensation alone, and still all cognitive attempts to identify this sensation as one emotion or another. This leads towards a state of free emotion, which could, for instance, be redefined as pleasure or ecstasy. This Technique can be used generally in ego magic, but is particularly useful for denying power to personal demons. That's a little confusing. I would think quite the opposite. Further clues for working with personal demons comes from understanding the different layers which make them up. Demons are not merely physiological identifications, but also behavioral and cognitive. This can be seen when we look at addiction, such as smoking. All excuses about having a cigarette for a special reason are inspired by the demon, as are behaviors that maintain the addiction and rationalizations about why we need to maintain the habit. Not only are such demons contextual, they also collude with each other to ensure that each other's survival. A person who is having difficulty resisting alcohol might offer a drink to someone who has a history of such problems. This is not just mutual support. It generates a tacit understanding shared by both, and it excludes non-alcoholics as they don't really understand. Hi, Christina. No, I started late because I slept in. Similarly, a jealousy demon in one person can collude with a fear of restriction demon in his partner, sparking a tug-of-war where both demons become stronger, each seemingly defending its own ego territory, but both committed to surviving and growing. There's a terrible drawing of Ganesh. Ganesha, binder of demons. Ganesha is one of the most popular deities of the Indian subcontinent. Prayers to Ganesha precede all other acts of worship and ceremony. He is invoked to remove obstacles from one's path and to pass luck. He grants prosperity to those who deal in commerce and freedom to those who seek liberation. Ganesha, vermilion colored, with the head of an elephant, the body of a man. In his 4 hands he holds a tusk, a noose, a goad, and makes the gesture of the granting boons. Excuse me. He holds in his trunk a pomegranate, and the crescent moon is upon his forehead. A serpent is entwined around his split belly. He has the strength of an elephant, the intelligence of a man, and the subtlety and cunning of a mouse, which is his vehicle. The Upa Purana details 8 incarnations of Ganesha, who fought and overcame obsessional demons: lust, unjust anger, greed, infatuation, jealousy, attachment, and egotistic pride. There were Indian names for all of those things, but I wasn't going to struggle with it. Ganesha is often depicted as dancing, for he is playful and filled with joy and delight. Although he subdues demons, he lacks gravity and pride. The son of Shiva and Parvati, he is beloved one of all the gods. A very puckish figure respected by all. Place Ganesha in your belly and meditate upon his ecstatic dance, for he is freedom personified. He grants wealth, but he is free of attachment to wealth. He is wise, but not ponderous. He has many talents, yet he is not fettered by them. In most parts of India, he is considered to be celibate, although some tantric icons of the god show him seated with a Shakti, or a power. In the aspect of Lakshmi Ganapati, the giver of success, he is flanked by goddesses Shri, or achievement, and Buddhi, which is wisdom. In one of his most popular contemporary forms, he holds a noose, an elephant goad, a vessel of sweets, and gives a protective gesture, especially for home versions. So for home versions, he's usually sitting. For work versions, he's standing. For those who would have him like hanging out at work, then you would get a standing one. There is a rich variety. Yes, extra sleep, good. And I went to bed at a reasonable hour. I don't know what's up. There's a rich variety of symbolism contained with the figure of Ganesha. His huge pot-bellied body represents the universe. Nature, mankind, and the gods themselves reside within his belly. His elephant's head represents the qualities of the elephant. Thus he is affectionate, wise, gentle, and loyal. Yet when aroused, he can be extremely ruthless and destructive. His large ears, like winnowing baskets, sift truth from fiction and recall the Vedic axiom that learning can only take place by listening at the feet of the guru. A tantric interpretation of this idea is that the liberation can only be achieved by paying attention to what is around you, by stilling the chatter of the internal dialogue and experiencing the world as it is, rather than how you think it is. Ganesha's trunk is symbolic of the quality of discrimination, and the first great lesson for any would-be magician. The elephant can use its trunk for heavy tasks such as moving a log or very delicate acts. The curved trunk also symbolizes the root mantra Om, the sound from which the universe was created. The broken tusk has many associations. It shows, for one thing, that Ganesha is not bound by the desires for balance and symmetry, which are central obsessions in Hindu philosophy. By breaking off a tusk to use as a weapon or pen, Ganesha demonstrates the sacrifice of deities to humanity. One of the most common vehicles or mounts associated with Ganesha is the mouse. This is a strange relationship, as unlike other vehicles such as a Garuda bird on which Shiva rides, the mouse is never venerated in its own right. This may harken back to Ganesha's aspect of a harvest deity, when he was propitiated to destroy rodents that threaten crops. The mouse is often associated with small desires and doubts, the kleshas which we continually assail ourselves with. The mouse may also represent cunning and the ability to achieve desire in non-obvious ways. Ganesha demon morphing. Place yourself in a comfortable position. Perform any preferred relaxation exercise, and give attention to your body sensations. Close your eyes and turn your mind inwards, towards your belly. Feel that part of your body to be a void filled with red mist. As you breathe in and out, imagine the form of an elephant-headed Ganesha taking shape within your belly. Repeat internally the mantra Om Ganapati Namah. Once a Ganesha has formed inside you, imagine that you are becoming yourself an image of Ganesha. Your nose lengthens to become a trunk. Your ears become those of an elephant. Feel your body outline changing. When this metamorphosis is complete, turn your attention once again inwards and then visualize a situation which stirs the evocation of a demon within yourself. Again, summoning demons like at the drop of a hat. I'm not really great at that. See the situation occurring within your belly and see yourself there in it. Be aware of body sensations, but still any thoughts and identifications that arise. Let your breathing become slow and deep, and be aware of how your body feels as pure sensation without an identification or label. Slowly, feel that physical sensation to be one of pleasure, a growing sense of joyfulness which you can relax into. Feel that sensation as a source of power, and allow that power to build up inside you until finally you have to give voice to it. Repeat the sound that issues from you. A word or mantra may form. If it does, keep hold of it in your mind. At this point, begin the so-called elephant dance, which is named from the habit of elephants moving their heads from side to side at a watering hole. Allowing your head to loll from side to side, keeping your neck muscles loose, and move your torso left and right. This movement prevents residual tension settling into the body following the catharsis of the above exercise. This exercise is useful for demon work in two ways. Firstly, you can use it to free yourself from the grip of a demonic response that continues long after the initial triggered event has passed. Secondly, by mentally projecting a situation where a demon might arise, you are learning to identify the characteristics, thoughts, feelings, and behavior appropriate to that demon, and so become aware of when you are allowing its responses to carry you away. Once you know the points of the feedback loops, it is easier to break out of them. It is useful for this kind of work that Ganesha is very much a playful god, as it seems to be the most effective to approach most kinds of ego magic from a condition of playful relaxation and grim determination. Stop, look, relax word. Again, visualize a situation that provokes a demon, but this time let the thoughts, feelings, and images whirl around inside your mind. Project the appropriate fantasies which give the demon power and let it run away with you. As the feelings turn within your body-mind, see an image take shape before you, the huge shape of Ganesha towering above you. His eyes twinkle with humor. He lifts his trunk and blasts the air with an ear-splitting trumpet which rips apart the images and thoughts filling your mind. The sound of the trumpet vibrates through your body, and it becomes a sound that you can hear, a sound that you can make, and it wells through you, up into your throat and out of your mouth. Repeat the sound until it becomes clear for you. This sound can be used as a stop, look, relax word. The idea is that each time you feel a demon rising within you, hurl the sound at it to stop it in its tracks and to stop you feeding it power through fantasy and other reactions. If you can stop yourself from feeding a demon and relax in its presence, then you're halfway to getting it to work for you in other ways. Demons maintain themselves against discovery and disillusion. If you hurl a word of power at a demon and relax, viewing the situation calmly and clearly, then you are in a position analogous to Ganesha in the mouse. At this point, you may consider entering into dialogue with the demon, and they have a similar nature to a Russian doll. A demon which at first seems fearsome can be stripped away in layers as you work with it, understanding that what part it plays in maintaining you as you are rather than as you could be. It might be possible to work with it another way that than that which you have been used to. Hi, doll. It's not a big deal. I'm going to be ending early anyway. Hurling raptor sounds at my demons. Yeah. I'll pass. I'm not currently in a place in my life where making raptor sounds at my demons would help anything. Magical responses. Feed to exhaustion. It can sometimes be useful to feed personal demons to exhaustion. Often demons retain their power to holding us back from investigating the entire consequences of the fears they stir within us. I recall a possession by a demon of jealousy. Instead of suppressing that jealousy or turning it inwards into fear, I let it rage through me, taking every possible manifestation, generating mad plans for revenge and retribution to absurd lengths. In time, I was exhausted and found that suddenly the initial trigger for this possession wasn't important anymore. In fact, it was laughable. The problem is when I let my depression run rampant, like, I might end up dead. So I kind of not really into that. Hi, Debbie. Glad you could make it. Offer it to death. Personal demons may occasionally be surprised into immobility if you offer them death. If someone is with someone else, I'm going to kill myself. And then you reach out for the razor or samurai sword. Suddenly place yourself in a situation where the threat of real death is present, places everything else in context. Remember, demons do not want to die. And if you're demons. And if you offer them death and mean it, they are likely to freeze, allowing you to examine them closely. If you say so. I don't know. That's, demonic pacts. In common folklore of the occult, there are strict warnings about the danger of pacts with demons, as anything remotely demonic belongs to the lower base self rather than the higher spiritual self, and consequently should be banished. This is equivalent to the Victorians insisting that women keep their ankles covered, lest they inflame the passions of men. If you repress a demon, it becomes all the more powerful and beyond your control. Making a pact with it, however, implies some kind of tacit understanding between you and the entity. Demons are powerful sources of energy. Certainly they are too potentially useful to be banished or suppressed or given free rein to pull us this way and that. I made pacts with my demons. With one of my demons. It's a weird relationship that I could go on for a very long time about. To enter into a pact with a demon, it is first necessary to expose it. Yes, meow. To identify its components, sensations, thoughts, behavior. to relate to muscular tension, and even to treat it as a shape, a personality, and give it a magical name in the sigil. By deliberately reliving a situation where the demon has overwhelmed you, you learn to understand the points of your relationship to the demon and how much of that relationship is reciprocal. Such realizations are rarely pleasant, as they involve acknowledging your responsibility for the demon in the first place. The simplest form of such a pact is to acknowledge the presence of the demon and transform its action into something which enhances the free expression of your power, rather than hindering it. An example of this process is the transformation of anger into creativity. If someone really annoys me, I am very much tempted to return retribution in the form of a curse. Now, to be effective in satisfying this desire for retribution, this curse has to be particularly horrible and devious. Any old off-the-peg curse will not suffice. So I begin to start thinking up something really ingenious and unique. What happens is that the desire for individual retribution is supplanted by the desire to create something interesting and new. When I hit upon something which for me is a novel perspective on magic, such as viral servitors described in Chapter 6, the original trigger here, the anger and desire to curse the person who triggered that anger, is forgotten. Instead, I focus attention on the new idea, how to integrate it with my existing magical theories in use, how to try it out and its wider applications beyond mere cursing. It is a mistake, although a tempting one, to label negative emotional responses as demonic. Your anger in a situation may be perfectly legitimate. It's the way you express that anger that's important. For example, you could consider your tendency to suppress growing anger until you have an uncontrolled outburst as dysfunctional, and work upon it accordingly. Redirecting and channeling the power of a demon. Lost my place. Redirecting and channeling the power of a demon is satisfying, as both of you are working together. At one office where I worked, one of the secretaries seemed to be particularly good at annoying me, making what I found to be asinine comments at the least appropriate moments. This tended to lead to a situation where I suppressed my annoyance until I shouted at her, whereupon she became defensive and shouted back, a situation which quickly escalated beyond the point of sanity. One morning, however, as soon as she began her tirade of remarks during a complex and intricate repair job, I took a deep breath and said, "Mary, if you don't shut up, I'm going to bang your head against the computer monitor," in a very calm, quiet, and measured voice. "That's not very nice," she replied, whereupon I said, "It's not meant to be. This is a difficult job that I am doing, and you are annoying me." The result was that she shut up, and I was able to acknowledge my anger forcefully, convey my feelings to her clearly, without becoming tense or carrying that anger around with me for the next hour or so, making my job all the more difficult. Hi, Tani. Banishing with extreme prejudice. While it is necessary to identify, know, and integrate your own personal demons, it is arguable how far you can take this process with other people. It may occur, for example, that a friend or a lover is clearly harboring dysfunctional demons, be they ego demons such as jealousy or possessiveness patterns, to more physiological demons such as alcoholism, drug addiction, or pathological violence. If someone you are having a relationship with is clearly subject to the will of a demon, such as alcohol or heroin demon, then, despite all protests to the contrary, that demon has potentially greater influence upon them than you ever will. Ain't that the truth? All addiction demons survive by demonstrating unequivocally to their hosts that their panacea is ultimately more reliable than anything else. When there is an emotional attachment made to another person, it is difficult to have the necessary detachment, objectivity, and cruelty to act as an effective therapist or exorcist. Thus the admonition, banish with extreme prejudice. Get them out and keep them out. Powerful demons such as these will do anything possible to draw you into the host's behavior patterns. It can be useful here to separate addict and demon into two entities. Banish the demon if only to make it aware that you are aware of it. The personal genius. The concept of the personal genius, the creative source of power and inspiration, has been given many different masks and labels. Healers often say that the power that flows through them is from a god or a particular archangel. Some magicians call this experience the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel, while some psychotherapists and New Agers talk about contacting the higher self. The most useful reference I have found is in Aleister Crowley's novel Moonchild. The clever man, so called the man of talent, shuts out his genius by setting up his conscious will as a positive entity. The true man of genius deliberately subordinates himself, reduces himself to a negative, and allows his genius to play through him as it will. This is analogous to a tantric exercise called feeding the fire. You imagine that your body is hollow, and that within it is a flickering flame which feeds on all your experience. Each breath fans the flame. Each moment of awareness feeds the flame. All emotions, thoughts, victories, defeats, identifications, revulsions, all feed the flame. All experience becomes the fuel for this inner flame, from which emanates the power to illuminate. The aim of all such exercises is to attain a degree of non-attachment to your actions and works. In Tantric methodology, this flame is also called Kundalini Shakti, the organizing and creative power that is equally present in humans and stars. Such power is not under the control of the ego, and any tendencies to identify it as belonging exclusively to you will weaken its expression through you. A useful attitude to cultivate in this respect is that by removing all tendencies to create identifications and blocks within yourself, you are making yourself into a hollow pipe through which power may flow freely. Blech. Phil Hine has his moments. Channeled entities, which might be the last section. We'll see. This term covers all types of entities to whom is attributed advanced wisdom and teachings. Spirit guides, enlightened masters, space beings, higher selves, and guardian angels. Making contact with such entities may be useful up to a point. The old saying, "It doesn't matter what you say, it's the way you say it," is certainly true of the channeling phenomenon. The message from these cuddly cosmic beings is overwhelmingly one of love and harmony. Love yourself, be yourself. We are all immortal, and we can all be healed by using the power of the New Age cliches, rays, chakras, auras, colors, and pseudo-scientific jargon. A welter of impressive terms and meaningless catchphrases. Platitudinous pap fed to an uncritical audience eager to believe in a cartoon universe where no one really dies, no one really gets hurt, no one really thinks for themselves, and I suppose napalm doesn't really stick to kids. Wrapping with Ramtha will heal you of the mental troubles, and everything will become ginger peachy. This is weird. This is a weird chapter. A funny thing about higher beings. Their message stays the same whenever they appear, but each new wave of popularity gives them a new mailing address. What? The spiritualists had their Red Indian guides. The Theosophists tune into the vibes beamed out by Tibetan masters. Aleister Crowley claimed to have been in contact with extraterrestrials, and by the 1950s, the gods were using flying saucers to get about. Jesus is alive and well and living on Venus. Now it's the day of the dolphin. It's interesting, however, that very often the founts of wisdom appear to be an endangered species. Dolphins, Red Indians, and Aborigines have all suffered extensively at the hands of us well-fed white folks. We ripped off the wealth of the Asian subcontinent and then swarmed over there in droves to seek spiritual enlightenment. Maybe behind all this New Age bit is the guilt of the overfed trying not to feel impotent while the world changes around them. Ooh. That is a very interesting thought. Maybe behind all this New Age bit is the guilt of the overfed trying not to feel impotent while the world changes around them. That's what's so attractive about the channelers' entities. They don't ask us to do anything as unattractive as look at what's happening behind the scenes. No, they wrap reality up in ribbons and glitter so that life becomes a continuously looping Walt Disney dream world. Well, I'm glad someone is kicking the New Age cliches in the butt. Yeah, no kidding. What seems to be implicit here is that depressed emo prac. Oh, goodness. What seems to be implicit here is the message from higher beings, whatever their alleged source, are automatically benign and helpful. Quite a turnabout from the 50s when the aliens brought to us by Hollywood came down out of the skies to ravage, rape our daughters, and take over the world for no very good reason. Maybe they've changed their act. After all, they should know by now that if they come barging in with death rays blazing, we'll just nuke them into radioactive debris. So they've adopted the soft sell approach. They're going to love us to death till we're smothered under a security blanket of bliss. They've also found a message that is attractive, one that says it's okay to have money, a Porsche, etc., and that spirituality is about loving yourself. Channeled entities will tell you about your wonderful past incarnations in Lemuria or Atlantis, what you did, who your partner was, and so forth. The quality that channelers often seem to lack is that of discrimination, which is very necessary whenever one approaches communications between humans and higher entities, whether they be dolphins, deities, extraterrestrials, or intelligent poodles from Sirius B. Magicians who employ the magical techniques of post-Golden Dawn systems tend, in my experience, to approach the whole area of interplane contacts with a good deal of healthy skepticism, another quality which seems to be sadly lacking in New Age philosophy. Thelemic magicians often test the validity of a contact by pronouncing those fateful words, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," to which the entity makes the suitable rejoinder or disappears, shrieking into the nearest astral discontinuity. A similar check involves mentally projecting the seal of A It's like A dot 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 A dot dot dot. I wonder if I can show you guys. A dot 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 and then A dot dot dot. Yeah. Okay. Onto the entity. The cross-examination of entities using symbolism and gematria is often resorted. Such methods, together with ritual or other techniques, help ensure that the beings invoked are who they claim they are. Indeed. Like most other magicians who go around invoking all manner of horrible things, sorry, interplane adepts, I've received a wide variety of communications from various entities over the years. These communications are, this is just the rest of the book. So I'm going to pause here. Let's see. I'll read this one paragraph and then we'll start the next paragraph tomorrow. I think. Yeah. What I do, let's see. I've received a wide variety of communications from various entities over the years. These communications are only relevant to me, and I'm certainly not going to offer them up as great cosmic insights. What I do demand is that they make sense, if only in terms of what I've been doing recently. Anyone can go on about cosmic love, harmony, beauty, and heavy karma. Man. But it's much more instructive when the message is informative in terms of pointers on how to look at a particular issue, problem, or internally consistent symbolic messages. If you say so. If you're talking about the offer your demons death thing, which, like, when you have voices in your head telling you to kill yourself, that probably doesn't work. All right. If you liked this video at any point, please hit the like button. And if you are interested in the rest of this section, which is not so, what's next? Are You Illuminated is the next chapter. So if you are interested in Are You Illuminated, then subscribe and maybe even ring that bell so that my videos are actually, like, sent to you when I go live. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.